Hello Glamour Ghouls and welcome back. If you are new here, my name is Midge Munster and on this channel we do all things campy, kooky, glamorous, and spooky. The annual tradition returns. If you weren't around last year, which is probable because I'm realizing that the last time I did this, I think I had just hit 1,000 subscribers. But last year I had a lot of requests for some reason that people wanted to see me bake. Now, I am a really good chef. I am a good cook, but I am not what I would say is like gifted at baking. So the way I worked that in last year was to try to recreate a really exemplary birthday cake for myself. It did not go well. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't great. And then if you were around for Spring-a-Ween and the great cake disaster of 2021, yeah, you'll know that baking has always been an interesting journey on this channel. But once again, as it was last year, it is the day before my birthday. So tomorrow, September 8th, is my 28th birthday. And once again, I wanted to take the opportunity to thoroughly embarrass myself in a very public forum. I have selected a new cake to recreate, and this year we are going with this bad boy. I saw it and I thought, that's perfect. That's Midge in a cake. And I really, I hope that it turns out well. I'm sure that it won't. I am feeling cautiously more optimistic this year about everything. I feel like I've failed enough now that maybe I have learned some lessons to help me get to the end of this one. Anyway, as you know, I don't make my cakes from scratch because I'm a cheater. And also for time constraints. So I have gotten dark chocolate and dark chocolate icing for the inside of the cake. And I'm gonna go ahead and mix that up real quick because really the entertainment value of this video is me trying to recreate the design of the cake. And it's nice to know that at least if it looks terrible, it's gonna taste good. It is really crazy to think about the fact that literally a year ago today, because it was the day before my birthday, I had just hit 1,000 subscribers and just gotten my videos monetized, and I was on top of the world. If I had known then that in just a year I would be doing YouTube full time and have 21,000 subscribers, you couldn't have told me. The other part of this video is that I'm going to be reading some of your questions from Instagram. I put out a little Q&A because it can be really easy for me to get like zoned in on what I'm doing here and then kind of forget to chat with you all while I'm baking. So I thought having questions to answer, keep our flow going. So I'm going to start with a couple of those. Let's see. This is the perfect one to start with. Haunted_Crystal Marie asked, how long ago did you learn that you couldn't bake? Here's the thing about that. I can mix ingredients. Like I said, I'm a good chef. I can do the like scientific part of baking. Like I make a really good loaf. Like I can make good pumpkin bread. I make good like cake, like you know, like if I made this cake from scratch, or if I make cupcakes from scratch, or if I make chocolate chip cookies from scratch, like those kind of things, I'm actually pretty decent. Like they taste good. They may not like look immaculate 100% of the time, but they taste really nice. So really, I think where I realized like, this is odd, is that I've always been a really good crafter. Like, and I'm a good replicator. Like I can look at something, you know, let's say I found like a Halloween decoration I really wanted that was like $600 and I didn't want to pay that. I am good at recreation, so I think I could like easily look at something and figure out a way to make it on a budget or whatever. So my Virgo brain with baking has always been like, yeah, I could probably like make a cake look nice. Like if I had a reference picture, I could probably duplicate it. And I don't know for sure when I figured out that wasn't true. I mean, obviously, like, for certain I figured it out last year on my birthday when Richard and I tried to make that green ghost cake, which again didn't look bad. It just definitely did not look like the picture that I had picked for that cake. And then actually, y'all don't know this yet. This is gonna be like a insider trade secret. So I had tried on Friday the 13th of August, I had tried to make something for that day. I had tried to make a video, and I had tried to make Jason Voorhees donuts. And I was trying to make jelly filled so that they would look like, you know, blood squirting. It's my birthday cake. I can do what I want. Okay. Let's kind of try to tap these down a little bit so they're hopefully somewhat flat. But yeah, so I had tried to make donuts that looked like Jason's mask that were jelly filled. And it did not go well. I think that was when I really, like, even just then, like, I know that obviously my baking history has been checkered, to say the least. But that was when I was like, oh, this is really hard. Like, trying to make dough and make donuts and like fry them at the right temperature. It was so hard, and I did so poorly that I didn't even have anything remotely like enough to show to finish the video. So anyone who makes like aesthetic bakery items, who makes like really beautiful cakes, or, you know, really nice chocolate covered strawberries that have like detail on them or whatever, any kind of really elevated treat like that, mad respect for you, because that is not my calling. But we do like to try. So while those are baking, we're gonna move on to, actually, you know what we're gonna move on to? So I've got the fondant, but we have this. There is an element of this cake that is a chocolate spider web on top that is like melted chocolate that has been drawn into a spider web and then let freeze and then set on top. And it's really pretty. I could do it with icing, but I really, really, really want to try to do it the way that the image shows it done. So I did get these black melting chocolates. So it says I can just melt them in the microwave. And then I'm going to put them into these piping bags that have a really thin, like, writing tip on them, and get out some parchment paper and try to write, or try to like do the spider web on there. Working with any kind of chocolate is always tricky, and I've never done it before. So I say it's always tricky, like I know. From the many baking shows I've watched, I think I'm probably gonna need to make 2 spider webs just in case I break one of them, like trying to get it on the cake. Anyway, let's get some parchment paper and melt these chocolates, and we're gonna try it. They say they're artificial vanilla flavor. Oh, it's like white chocolate. I have no concept about like how much chocolate this will take. I'm not gonna do very much to start. Like that much? That seems right. Okay, let's do another question. Batty Az asked, will you be going to any haunted houses this year? No. If y'all don't know, I am the world's biggest scaredy cat, and I have an anxiety disorder. So haunted houses are a big no-go for me. I've been one time to the ones in Kansas City. I went to one that I enjoyed, and it's called the Chambers of Poe, and it is like each room in it is a different Edgar Allan Poe poem. I'm claustrophobic, and I don't like being in small spaces that are dark. It's just not for me, unfortunately. Now, what I did go to for the first time last year or 2 years ago was the Worlds of Fun Halloween Haunt. That one's fairly doable for me because most of it's outside. It's kind of like a Halloween Horror Nights in our big like amusement park in town. So I might go back to that. Honestly, if I do, I will document it because that'll be very fun to watch me have a full-blown come apart. Oh, I really need that. I need the pan to know how big to make it. I'm gonna wing it. Why not? Okay, let's get another question while I'm doing this. What is your favorite Halloween candy? My favorite is Kit Kats. What's one spooky movie scene that gives you all the fall feels? Ooh, that's a good one. Honestly, probably, I know I've talked about it on Instagram a couple times. I don't know if I've ever talked about it on the channel. One of my favorite movies growing up was called The Halloween Tree. It's an animated version of the Ray Bradbury book, and it's just like super, super delightful. The music in it is beautiful, and the opening scene of that is really, really awesome. It's like them panning over this kind of middle, like New England town with all the fall leaves and the cute New England houses. And it's playing this really like beautiful, haunting song. So that really does it for me for sure. And that's like a movie that we watched all the time on Halloween when I was a kid. And so that definitely like triggers the nostalgia factor for me as well. So it's not perfect by any means. There was my first little chocolate spider web. Like I said, I think I am gonna do 2 just to cover my bases because I know myself. Ooh, okay. Hard-hitting journalism. Megan DePaulo asked, it's been a month since you become a full-time YouTuber. How are you feeling? I'm feeling pretty good. I will say it's been real high highs and real low lows for sure. I think something I'm struggling with right now is that there's always been like a destination attached to this journey for me, which was that I wanted to be able to quit my job and do this full time. And now that I've reached that destination, I feel like I don't know what's next necessarily. And obviously, like, part of that is just like continue growing, continue learning, continue getting more creative with my content, like all of these things. But I feel a little bit just like lost right now. Like even when I hit 20K, I was so excited. And then I also had a moment of like, now what? Because that's been this like arbitrary number that I've had in my head for so long of like, when I hit 20K, that means I've like made it. I've done the thing I came here to do. To me, it felt like that was huge and like that was maybe the most that would ever happen. So it's a little bit overwhelming to get to a place where you realize that you actually have more potential than what you thought you did. And it's awesome, but it's also kind of daunting, and you know, it's really weird to like be in a place where I'm having to put a price on something I did for free for 5 years and like shifting that mindset of this is something that I do for fun versus now like this is something that I do for fun and to pay my bills, which is great. And like, I mean, you all know I've never taken this for granted for a second. And I know that a lot of people never get the opportunity to do what I'm doing right now. So I'm very thankful and very excited, but it's also, there's a lot of pressure. And I think something I'm really trying to work through is putting too much pressure on myself to have it figured out right away. Like I feel like right now I'm a little frustrated that it's been a month and I still feel like I'm in a transition period. I feel like I'm still trying to figure everything out, and that is okay. Like this was such a huge change in my life. Like I'm not going to have it figured out immediately, but there's part of me that feels like I should have it figured out already. So figuring out how to give myself grace and just enjoy the process, allowing myself to be okay with not having all the answers right away. But I've had a lot of really awesome experiences. I've had people recognizing me in public and meeting people and people wanting to take pictures, and going to the Spirit flagship store was freaking insane. Like, I mean, there's been so many highs, and I really am so lucky that I get to do this all the time as my job. But like I said, I'm just trying to give myself grace right now and know that this is going to be a learning process, and it's really hard to not have a set schedule. Like, obviously I'm setting my own schedule, but like to not be going into an office every day or like have that accountability is super weird, because like if I don't want to work one day, I can just not, and that can be really dangerous. But overall, I'm really happy, and I'm glad that I took a risk on myself and that I'm trying this. I hope it continues to be fruitful. Okay, so I've got all my different spider webs. I tried a few just to make sure I got one I really liked. Right now, oh, it's already coming off. Oh, right now I think this guy is my favorite. I think that's probably gonna be the one, as long as it's big enough. I made 3 sizes just in case. So now the cakes have about 4 minutes left. I'm gonna wait, I think, until those are out and cooling before I start messing with this too much. But I did get white fondant, and I'm going to dye it pink with, I've got these 2, so these are kind of like Eastery colors, and there's a rose petal pink, but there's also a creamy peach color. And looking at that picture, the cake is pink, but it's almost kind of more of a pinky salmony color, like the color of my studio. Maybe I'll do a little bit of pink and a little bit of the peach in this color mix for the fondant. And we'll see kind of where that turns us out. I don't want it to be like pink pink. I want it to be that flamingo-y mid-century pink that y'all know I love. So we got our fondant kind of laying out here. I'll put some food coloring on him. Oh, what am I looking at here? I've never seen anything like this. These must be like super concentrated. Oh, these are definitely made to like stir into icing. I hope this is gonna work. Okay, well, we're getting some color, but it's very like tie-dyed right now. And the color's not mixing through. We're getting like spots of deep kind of purple base. I knew something was gonna go wrong, I just didn't know when. This looks like there has been a horrifying accident. Okay, I'm gonna fold it in. Oh no. I hope this doesn't stain my countertops. These are the moments where I'm really, really, really glad I don't have like quartz counters. I'm the type of person who could never be trusted with a quartz countertop. Okay, you know what? As rough as the going has been with this, I think this is a pleasant color. I think this is the pink I'm going for. I've learned a very valuable lesson, which is that if something says icing color and not food coloring, they are not the same thing. And it will dye your cabinets and your clothes and your hands. So I think I've kind of reached a like as good as it's probably gonna get state with this. So I'm gonna go ahead and roll it out. Now I think the thing is that now I've got to roll this up on itself. Okay, beautiful. Baking is hard work, y'all. I need some water. Okay, so our cakes are cool. I've gone ahead and leveled this one to the best of my abilities. Now I'm gonna open up my dark chocolate icing for the inside. Okay, spreading this around. This is why I really like fondant, because then you can't see what an absolute mess I've made underneath. The edges are always the hardest part for me. I will say, I'm sure I'm speaking too soon, but so far, so good. Today we may witness the first time that I have ever iced the sides of a cake somewhat successfully. And let me be clear, by successfully, literally all I mean is that like the cake didn't tear or rip, and it like has icing on the sides of it on all sides. So the standards are low. Okay, yes. Okay, we have now coated the entire cake in icing, including the sides. I'm so excited about that actually worked. Right now, I'm cautiously optimistic. This looks like a cake, smells like a cake, quacks like a cake. Let's put the fondant on. We gotta do it. I did get some chocolate icing on the cake, or on the fondant, when I was trying to drape it, so that's a bummer. Oh, this plate was a bad idea, because it's curved. It's very hard to get the fondant where it needs to go. Okay, new lesson learned. So very, very obviously, this cake is not as tall as the one in the picture. So that's a little bit of a bummer, because of course it does really cut back on our allotted decorating space. So we've got our cake covered with our pink fondant. I'm not gonna tip it all the way because I learned my lesson the hard way. So the first thing I'm gonna do is open up this black fondant, and I'm just gonna start using it to make some little spiders for this cake. So there's my little spider. He's got one leg on him. I think that's turning out pretty good. Before I get any further here, I'm gonna try to pipe the cake because I like the way this spider is looking, but I think his top legs are gonna have to go over the like piping on the cake, and I don't wanna ruin the spider when I come back to pipe it. Yeah, I'm glad I did this first. We're bridging into spooder territory. Okay, so there's that. I feel like we're getting somewhere. I don't know where it is, but we're getting there. I think I want to go ahead and put this on there. Guys, look. I did it. You can't see it. But it's the chocolate spider web. I actually made it. It looks good. I just broke a part of it. Shh, it's fine. That feels good. This is why we made multiple. Put this on top. Oh, it's a little too big. That's okay. Ah, that turned out good though. That's my little chocolate spider web. I wanted to go ahead and put that on top so that I had a good idea of like where everything is gonna sit. And now I'm just gonna start making little spider bodies to go around the cake while I answer some more questions. Toasted Ghoul asked, will you be doing any kind of fashion, clothing / accessory video hauls? Yes, I actually have a fashion related kind of how to shop for spooky plus size clothing coming up. Should be this week actually, so you should be seeing that very, very soon. I'm very excited to share that video. I worked with Michaela Marie Studios for that video, who styled me for my Spirit video, and we worked together on a little collaboration. So it'll be a little bit of me talking about how to shop, and then a little bit of me talking about my experience working with a personal stylist for the first time. So that should be really fun, and I hope you guys like it. It's gonna be something very different than what I normally do. I'm trying to diversify and do different types of content, so hopefully you guys enjoy. Sarah Kuntz said, if you know / want to share any cool astro aspects or placements in your chart, I'd love to hear them. It's a good thing to talk about for a birthday video. I think I've mentioned before, I'm pretty sure, so I am a Virgo sun, Gemini moon, Pisces rising, and most of my other like major stuff is in Virgo, like my Mercury and my Venus are both in Virgo, which I think is pretty like apt to who I am as a person. Like I'm very what you see is what you get, and I usually say exactly what I mean. Making these little spider legs is so much harder than I thought it would be. If you could buy Halloween decor from only one store for the rest of your life, what would it be? Oh my gosh, that's really hard. I would say probably, if I had to pick just one, either like At Home or Michael's, solely because I know they're going to have a whole lot of decor every year, and I know that they're going to have a lot of like different options every year too, like that I'm not going to be limited to, you know, a bunch of the same stuff. Like I will have a lot of different options to choose from. Your decor themes for this year. Cool. Yes. So this isn't quite finalized yet. I'm still kind of like toying with a few different things, but I'm getting ready to start really going at decorating this week. And before y'all ask, yes, there will be decorate with me videos, I promise you. And part of why I'm not like finalized yet is because I kind of need to take stock of some different things, and I've got one more kind of thing on the horizon that is going to determine a lot of stuff. I am going to be decorating outside this year, which I did not get to last year. I'm very, 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 very excited to share that with you guys. Can't talk all about that just yet, but I promise you it'll be worth the wait. So other themes, I think my dining room, I kind of mentioned this earlier this year, but I think for my dining room, I want to do kind of like a, I don't know, more of like a witch, like a hut witch, if that makes any sense, like a woods witchy, kind of apothecary vibe. I think that's going to be really cool. I got this new hutch in my dining room this year, and I just really think I can do a lot of cool things with that hutch. The living room's going to end up being pretty similar to what it normally is, which is kind of like a just traditionally Halloween spooky orange and black. The one thing that'll be different about it this year is that it's going to be a little bit more Sleepy Hollow specific. Like it's going to be, like I always have bits that kind of allude to Sleepy Hollow, but I'm going to go kind of more all in and have it be like a Sleepy Hollow theme. I have a lot of skeleton decor from when I did my skeleton banquet in my dining room last year, so I think I might do some of that in another space. I don't know if it'll be the kitchen or if it'll be kind of maybe upstairs. Maybe I'm thinking I might decorate in my bedroom and stuff a little bit this year. Nothing crazy, but overall, that's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm most excited about the dining room and then a particular project for the Sleepy Hollow living room. Ooh, I love this question from Zoe Loves Owls. If you were going to design a spooky decor range, what would be the theme and what would it feature? I love that question. It's actually, that's like a really, like a dream of mine, is that I would really, really like to design a Halloween decor line for someone at some point, or even if I just designed it and it was mine and I sold it through my e-commerce. But yeah, that's something I really, really would love to do. It would obviously be like mid-century goth, like spooky mid-century, vintagey, but not like not like Michael's vintage Halloween. It would be like pastels and fun colors. It would be spooky Palm Springs. I don't know exactly what all I would feature, but yeah, that would be the dream, to get to design my own line. It would be something kind of like the Cool Cats line that At Home did, but I would do it a lot better. No shade to At Home. They you know, they're doing all kinds of stuff, so that's not their primary focus, but I was bummed that that line didn't have more to it. I really wanted to see them kind of go all out with it the way they do their other stuff, and that didn't happen. So this is a great question too. What would be your ghost outfit? The outfit you'd want to wear for all of eternity? I love that. I mean, this is hard because it changes, you know, from month to month. Like when I get new clothes, I always end up with something that I like better than things I've owned previously. This dress I'm wearing right now would definitely be at the top of the list. I love this dress. I really like the outfit I just wore for my like birthday get together. It's like these ghost overalls and a striped crop top, or like that same striped crop top and my monster skirt would probably be a pretty strong contender too. One thing I will say is that like I really do love every single like outfit I buy. Like I really don't buy things unless I'm super in love with them, or I don't keep them in my closet. Like I'll resell them or something if I don't feel 100% in it. So like pretty much anything that I have in my closet at this point is something I'd be happy wearing as my ghost outfit. Favorite spooky song? I think right now something I'm loving is the song Spooky by Dusty Springfield. That song has like serious like 60s like kind of, you know, that bossa nova-y jazzy vibe. And it's not actually like meant to be a Halloween song. It's kind of like a weirdly like kind of like a song about going on a date with a guy. I think this is coming along. I've got a couple spiders done on here and one in the middle, and I put some pearls on the top. I think I'm gonna like, I'll answer one more question and then I think I'm gonna shut off the camera and like finish this because it takes a long time to like talk and do it. What's a good one to end on? Oh, this is a good one since we're doing cake. It says, what's your favorite spooky treat? Caramel apples, I think. I really, really like caramel apples, and I love those little Pillsbury cookies with the ghosts and the cats and everything on them. Okay, so I'm gonna finish up my cake real quick. I will be right back, show you the finished product, and then that'll be, we'll adjourn for another year on spooky birthday cake. So I will see you in just a minute. Okay, here it is. I honestly am really happy with the way this turned out. Does it look like the picture? No. But like, is it a really valiant attempt for someone who does not bake? I think so. I think it's really cute. I'm really happy with the color of the fondant. I'm happy that the chocolate spider web turned out. I think it shows a lot of growth in the baking department. I think I'm getting better. I think this is a good representation of where I'm at now versus where I was at a year ago, both as a baker and as a human being. I don't know, I'm glad you guys kind of pushed me to try something different last year, and this has become like a fun part of my birthday celebration, so thank you for that. And as always, just thank you for being here. Thank you for your constant support. This is a very, very happy birthday because I get to do what I love every day, and that is really, really incredible. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and until next time, keep it campy, kooky, glamorous, and spooky. Here's to 28. Bye.
When we most come out to social life.